Hey everyone, it's Adonis here, and welcome to Thrive Socially podcast. I am super excited. Y'all, this is the first episode of millions to come. I'm going to keep this page going, keep this content going for y'all. And our first ever guest, I feel like y'all not going to be surprised if y'all follow me on social media. If y'all follow me online, y'all not going to be surprised. But our first guest today, she is a graphic designer based in Atlanta, Georgia. She's from Maryland, and she is killing it out here. There's so much to unpack here with her. I'm excited to introduce to y'all Jaylin Bolden.
Yes. Hi, I'm Jaylin.
I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited too. So a little bit about me. I'm a graphic designer from Maryland. I've been doing graphics since 2021.
Wait, tell them how old you are. Tell them how old you are.
I'm 24 years old.
She is 20, and you've been doing it since you were 20?
Since I was 20, yeah. Since I was 20,
okay.
Yeah. I started as a side hustle, and pretty much with me starting as a side hustle, I was like, I still want to do something else outside of graphics because it was more like a hobby.
What were you doing before?
I was in school for business law, so that was my degree.
Did you finish school? Like, how did that impact?
Yeah, so I finished school.
Okay.
School was a priority. It was one of those things where my parents were like, either school or you're going to the military. And
we all been there. We all had them.
Yeah,
pick one.
Exactly. So I had to pick one. So I pretty much picked school. And with me picking school, I just told myself I'm gonna get through school, but I also want to tap into my creativity more.
I love it.
And when I was little, I was like that art geek in a way. I was obsessed with paint in the 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with paint. I was obsessed with like word art.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with pretty much any type of digital art.
Gotcha.
And then from there, I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just start teaching myself a new program. So I taught myself Photoshop, and now I am where I am today.
Okay, well, tell us, where are you today? Tell us more. Where are you today? What we got going on? I'm not going to spoil it for y'all. I know she doesn't like to air. She doesn't like to.
I'm very humble.
Yes, but tell them. Okay, y'all, she's very humble. We're gonna go into it. First of all, y'all, she's 24, and she's done so much. Like, let's unpack it. First of all, what are some of your accomplishments last year?
Okay, so last year, I'm gonna start off my early years.
Okay, let's talk.
At the age of 20, I opened up my graphic design studio in DC.
Gotcha.
Before I was doing graphics, I was doing photography. And that's not something.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. So I'm like well familiar working with photographers, turnaround time, editing. And from there, I was just like, okay, I still want to do some type of form of creativity, but I don't want to do all this labor work. And when I was doing photography, I had all my equipment. I was traveling, doing birthday shoots. I was doing a lot. So I was like, you know what? Let me just turn my photography studio into my graphic design studio. So whenever I went home for the summers, it was just like, okay, I need a space where I could go leave my house and go into my own work environment. And that was my graphic design studio.
Wow.
So I still have it to this day. It's in DC.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's in my dad's building. He just gave me a room. So
oh, wow. So you have your own graphic design studio?
Yeah, I have my own graphic design studio. It still has the computer in there. It has a desk. It has 2 chairs, a bookshelf. It has everything.
Wow, that's crazy. And then that you transitioned and moved to Atlanta when?
So after that, I pretty much said, you know what? It's time to. We went through COVID. That was first. So we went through COVID, going through quarantine. I was still in school, and after I graduated, 2021, I had to do my last semester at home. So I went back home, and moving from New York, I went to school in New York. So going from like that New York scenery to Maryland, it was kind of depressing because it's just like, okay, now I'm back in Maryland, and it's boring here. It's like really boring.
Yeah.
And Maryland's also a place where it's like, I'm not going to say things are far, but DC was like 30 minutes from me. So like that nightlife, networking events, things like that really didn't exist as much as it does in Atlanta. So I was like, you know what? Let me just try a new place. So my cousin, she actually went to Clark, and I went to go see her one time. And then I'm like, you know what? I like it out here. I was meeting people at the Waffle House at 3 a.m. having full business conversations with them,
that's Atlanta for
leaving
you.
the club. And then I just realized that it was Black excellence here, and I wanted to be in a place like that. So I was like, you know what? How about you just move to Atlanta? Try it out. So I moved to Buckhead, got my apartment, and from there, I was like, I'm just gonna make this place my home. My clientele was booming. I had to just stay here at that point.
Nah, man. If y'all know how I met her, like I met you.
Hey, how did we meet?
You booked me.
Yes.
It was just on a random.
Yes, it was.
I had just rebranded my photography business. Before I was shot by King J. I had my locks, and I was shooting,
locks.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Any and everything, anything, anyone, and I rebranded. I said, okay, I need to rebrand my image. And since there was a really bad stigma in Atlanta for photographers, I felt like I was falling into it just because the way I present my brand. Right. I was like, nah, I have to do it. And once I rebranded, you and a few other people were the first people who started booking me.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Y'all just started booking me, not knowing what I looked like before, how I was moving before. Yeah. And y'all were the first people who booked me. So when you moved here, your business took off. Where are you at now? What's happened like even in the past year?
Yeah, so in the past year, I just bought my first home. And that was...
Pause. She said she bought her first home. What, besides your graphic design business, what else do you have going on?
Okay, besides my graphic design business, I've been tapping into myself a lot more.
Okay.
So that includes traveling. Okay. I love traveling. I feel like not only is it therapeutic, but it's also one of those things where it just allows me to connect with God, and it also allows me to like connect with a deeper part of myself. Yeah. So last year, I went to Bali, and that was like my first trip. That was a 26-hour flight. So with me being that far, it was just amazing. Just looking at the quality of life, how everyone was so happy there. And coming back to America, it's just like the ghetto.
And then the beauty is you're a graphic designer. So
yeah, I can work anywhere. Exactly. And another thing, not even just about me working anywhere, I feel like me going to other countries, I'm looking at their marketing. I'm seeing how the brands there, they're actually minimal. And we have brands here that try to go for like that minimal theme, but they really don't know what that looks like. They don't know how to present it. But in Asia, these spa companies and stuff, they're on top of their marketing. And it was just so inspiring just seeing all these companies. And I'm like, wow, this is what Americans are striving for. Right. But we can't. It's a lot. It's a lot. And that's why when I went there, I was posting the coffee shops that I was at. It was this one coffee shop. It was called Unfold. And the logo was Unfold with a period. And that was it. And it was black, and the background was green.
It's a simplicity in it.
It was so simplistic, and then inside that coffee shop, it was so beautiful. I'm like, wow, like their branding is just immaculate, and it's just like a lot of people in not America. Okay, yeah, America. A lot of
let's get into it.
I wanted to say Atlanta at first, but a lot of clients just everywhere. It's like I see my clients shift from glitter logos to. Now they're trying to go the simple route, but once you have the simple logo, they still don't know what I mean by simplistic pictures. I'm just trying to go in that wave where I'm educating my clients. Like, if you want minimal, we got to go minimal all the way. We got to do minimal photo shoots. We got to do minimal flyers. If you want luxury, we got to go luxury all the way.
All the way. The presentation.
Presentation's like everything.
The choice of models, where we're shooting.
All of that. All of that. It's important. So I'm trying to travel more, needless to say. Yeah. Last week, I took my first solo trip out the country. My first solo trip out the country. Okay. So I went to Mexico.
How was it?
It was fun. Jeez. It was needed. Okay. I feel like work was just taking over. Yeah. And in January, I did a lot in my business, releasing an ebook, teaching classes.
That's huge. Y'all, check out her ebook. And what's the ebook covering?
Passion into Profit. So it's pretty much just talking about ways that you could profit as a graphic designer. Yeah. People just think about flyers and that's it. But I tell people it's so many different streams you could tap into. I have students that focus on funeral graphics. They're getting paid money doing obituaries, doing memorials. I have a student in Tampa. He does club graphics only. He's hosting flyers, DJ flyers, and he's booked out every week for all these clubs. Yeah. So pretty much with the ebook, it just talks about different streams and audiences that you could tap into with graphics. Yeah. And don't feel like it's only the beauty industry. That's it. Literally, it's so many types of.
And I feel like that's why our partnership ended up working.
Yes.
I kind of tell photographers this a lot. Like, it's important to niche down, because the faster you niche down to what your target demographic, all the partnerships form so naturally.
Exactly.
And that's pretty much how it happened with us. It was just, I niched down and wanted to focus on beauty so much. And it just so happened our clients kept clashing. And I was like, why you didn't call me and tell me you was working with her? I could have done
No, exactly. I was going to say, now it's to a point where, if I'm being transparent, it's to a point where I tell my clients, like, I would rather be on set with you for your photo shoot if you're working with Adonis.
Yeah,
Not only do I know that you're professional, but I also know you're going to get the job done. It's going to be quality. And you're understanding at the end of the day, and you have experience. I feel like, I work with so many photographers being a designer, and the downfall with a lot of them is basically their etiquette. And I feel like some photographers, they don't specialize in brand photography, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And even on a call earlier, my client was like, yeah, I have a photo shoot next week. I said, okay, cool. Let me see your photographer.
Yeah.
It was nothing on his page that was related to businesses. Everything was like wedding photography, more so event photography. And I told her, I was like, even though you're doing a lifestyle shoot, we still need a brand photographer. It's still important.
Yeah. And notice, y'all, what happened. Like, the biggest thing I noticed you said is you immediately looked for how they present themselves. So
Right.
That's why I think it's just so important when you're building a brand, regardless of its photography or whatever, like how you present the brand, because people are studying that, and people are considering you either an expert or not expert based on how you're presenting the brand.
Exactly.
So immediately you looked at his page. So even though he may probably do branding good, but the fact that his presentation,
it was all wedding. I'm just like, okay. But things like that, I love when my clients talk to me about, because I realized one thing about me now versus when I first started my business, I was allowing my clients do whatever. They had no strategy when it came to the photo shoot. I had clients, and I tell you this all the time.
Yeah.
I have clients who would shoot on a tan background, but their brand color is pink, or vice versa. Or I'll have a client that will say, this just happened recently. She did a photo shoot on a green background, and she said, but my colors are black and white only. So it's like, you wanted me to remove this green, but the green is still reflecting on your face. She had in curls. So it's like, those little pieces. It's just like...
And what it does in turn, it makes your job harder on your...
It makes my job harder, and that's why I be telling people, well, look, I'm a graphic designer. I'm not a photographer. I can change your outfit, but I don't want to. No, I don't have to.
Much work.
It's too much work.
And so, question: How much graphics clients you take in a month on average? Because again, you're virtual. Yes, you are based in Atlanta. So when you do have your Atlanta clients, we end up working together 80% of the time.
Yes,
but you end up taking clients worldwide. You have, I think, how much? You probably have, I think, over 41,000 followers on Instagram.
Yes.
I don't even know about your other platforms.
Yeah, so TikTok, I just reached 40.4K. And TikTok isn't graphics related; it's travel. But
they're going to your page.
Yeah, they're going to my page and see the graphics.
How many clients a month? Like, how much graphics do you take in a month right now?
Okay. I honestly can't. Okay, so a lot of my clients are returning clients.
Which is huge. You do.
Yeah, I have a lot of returning, and that's why a lot of people book me, because they see their growth and their consistency. But I also have new clients. I'm trying to think of a number. But I work with so many projects on a daily basis.
Literally, I think I would, if y'all can go follow her, if y'all like to, if y'all interested, y'all can go follow her. But I think some days I've literally watched you do 10 graphics in one day,
more than 10. I'm at 25, 30 graphics a day. And okay, so if you would have asked me this around Black Friday, I would probably say last year alone, I think I hit 3,000 orders. And that was just from my Wix. That wasn't even from my PayPal. People getting sent invoices and stuff. That was from Wix alone.
That's not, and keep in mind, we're not including the events you hosted.
Not including events, not including digital downloads, not including Design Academy. Yeah.
And then you have a school.
Yes. It's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's a lot with graphics that people don't tap into. And that's where I come into play, because I'm trying to make sure I reach my fullest potential. And one thing I love being about a graphic designer is that when I first said that I was going to become a full-time designer, it was 2021. So I never had a 9-to-5 job before. I went straight into entrepreneurship after I graduated. And I remember telling people, I'm going to be a full-time graphic designer. And I had family members saying, oh, what else are you going to do? And I'm just like, okay.
Been there.
Yeah, I don't want to prove y'all wrong, but I'm going to have to prove y'all wrong. So that's why I create these avenues. And my sister, she's my mentor as well.
Yeah.
She's been an entrepreneur for over 10 years. She's always telling me, Jaylin, what else are you going to do to pivot this year? She's always on top of me about everything that I do when it comes to my ebooks, when it comes to my strategy. She helps me out with everything. So I tell people all the time, try to have somebody outside or get a mentor if you can.
Facts,
because she wasn't my graphic design mentor. She never did graphics, but she was
she doesn't know graphics at all.
But she was a business. She knows business. And that's another thing. A lot of graphic designers don't have the business side to it. So when I was 20, I also got flagged from the IRS. That's when I took my business serious.
Ooh.
And that's when I started. I made over 20,000 that year.
Gotcha.
I made a lot of money that year. It was my first 6-figure year. And they told me that I owed 30,000. So I'm 20 and I'm just like, I'm getting all this mail from the IRS in the mail. And I'm just like, I don't have 30,000. And mind you, my parents, they're entrepreneurs. However, they didn't break things down to me as far as like getting I didn't even have an LLC at that point.
Wow.
I was making all this money, and Uncle Sam was like, you know what, where's our 30%?
And I don't want this to scare them, but still get started.
Get started.
Like, who cares? We're gonna make mistakes regardless.
Exactly. Get started, and then make sure you have a team. So from there, I had to get my LLC. I did make a lot of mistakes with that. I also had to get a tax preparer. I made mistakes with that. My tax preparer now, her name is Laura Foos.
Yes.
She got me together. She sat me down in her office.
Just connected with her. I gotta finish doing everything she told me to do.
She stays on top.
Well,
I love Laura so much. And one thing about her is that she educated me at the age of 20. And she said, Jaylin, this is what LLC is. Yeah. This is when you need to turn your business to an S Corp. You need to get on payroll. She connected me with a payroll person. By the time I left out that office, my payroll was set up. So it was like one of those learning lessons where I had to tell myself, like, it's okay. Cough this money up because next year you're going to start paying your quarterly taxes. You're going to start putting money away. So
pay that 7, 10.
Yeah. Stop mixing your money. It was a lot I had to do. So it was a wake up call, but I'm happy I started at the age of 20.
Yeah. Cause it's crucial. Cause now you're 24. You purchased is this your first home?
My first home.
So you purchased your first home with your business.
Yes.
By just running your business and all the different avenues you ran through with your business. And so what is this year looking like for you? So far, I've seen you launched the ebook. It seemed like everyone jumped. Like they were waiting on it.
They were. So my ebook was amazing. I received a lot of good feedback from it. It actually made me cry because I'm like, wow, you were actually the one that was motivating me to push out my ebook because you kept saying, Adonis, you was on me about digital downloads. You were like, tap into it. And I remember telling you specifically, one time we had a conversation. I was like, I'm going to do it. I just don't know when. And then you were like, you need to have your funnel set up. So you're telling me all this.
Literally.
So I'm hearing it from you. I'm hearing it from my sister.
Yeah.
And I'm also just seeing it on Instagram as well. I'm seeing people saying, comment this keyword. And
some of them are, and I'm going to keep it real. Some of them are not even providing value.
Yeah, exactly.
They're selling ebooks on how to sell ebooks.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of these like passive income people, it's like,
and if they're doing it without even substance, imagine
somebody with substance doing it. And that's what I had to tell myself.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I have an audience that trusts me, they see me hustling. They see me waking up at 5 a.m. doing all these orders, having productive.
And this is not no guru who be out there. Oh, I wake up at 5 a.m. No, it's there on her story.
Yeah, it's there on my story. I have to post it at 5 a.m. because I feel like it pushes a lot of people. And I be getting so many messages of people saying, like, you just motivated me to start my day early. You motivated me to get a custom planner with my face on it. It's stuff like that. So I definitely feel like with me having that schedule, me having digital downloads, me having my events and stuff, it just allows me to keep my brand going.
I think one of my favorite things you do, and I kind of encourage a lot of people to do this, is you build your personal brand through your Instagram story.
I do.
I see, when you have an Instagram page that's about business, it's just like, okay,
business.
But then you take the personal side on your story.
Yes.
And they eat it
Okay, that's crazy you said that. So one of my students, she asked me on Wednesday night for my design academy. She was like, so when did you make your business page a personal page? And I was like, it's actually not. I still have a personal page with all travel, and it's completely separate. Whenever I want to go out and stuff, I'm not posting.
Literally,
I don't be posting that stuff on my business page. Nope. I keep it professional.
Yeah.
And one thing I can definitely say is that I decided to merge the two because I did an evaluation. This was 2022. Every quarter, I try to like evaluate what I did for that quarter.
Yeah.
So 2022 January, I was going through my old content, and I'm like, wow, pictures of me be getting thousands of likes, but my bomb flyers be getting like 20 likes. I was just so discouraged. I'm like, so people want to see me? Is that the case? And my sister, her being my business mentor, she said, Jaylin, you need to put your face in front of the camera. So my brother Jacob, JPW Photo, he did my first photo shoot. Yes, he did my first photo shoot when I was 16 years old. Wow. And me and him, we locked in. He was like how the relationship I had with you, I had with him, but we were younger doing it.
Wow.
So he did my first photo shoot at the age of 16. And then when I was 17, I went to Jacob. I was like, Jacob, I need another headshot just because. So he did that headshot. So he was doing my headshots from 16 up until 20 when I moved here. So I remember at the age of 20 when he did my headshot, I had faux locks in, and this was my first time ever posting myself on my business page.
Wow.
And I was so nervous because I'm like, I just want people to know that Jaylin Graphics is a business entity. Here's the logo. Don't know the face behind the brand.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Don't worry about it.
Get your graphics up.
Yes, that's it. I didn't want people to know who I was. I was so low key. And my sister was like, no, post yourself. So I posted that picture, and I had people commenting saying, I thought you were a guy. Like they were using pronouns like he and him, but I didn't care because I'm like, y'all don't know who I am. My name is Jaylin. But once I posted myself and then I did my first webinar at the age of 20, I'm like, okay, people actually support my brand. They want to see me.
Yes.
So needless to say, that's when I started tying in my personal life, going to the coffee shop, going to the gym. Because I feel like being a creative, it's not just work. It's a lifestyle.
Literally.
Traveling. Here's my laptop. I'm still getting money, but I'm also enjoying my freedom, you know?
Yes.
So.
Yeah. And that's when you started doing that, that's what inspired me to start doing that on my story.
Yes.
And it's played because honestly, this is a huge gem. Like, that's what opened up the other streams of incomes for me.
Yes.
Because before I was just a photographer, but now people who were wanting to be graphic designers or photographers, now they see my personal life. They feel that relatability.
Yes.
Boom.
Exactly.
And then the second I launch a product or service,
they're going to hop on it. And it's crazy, Don, is I had a designer. She booked my designer coaching call. It's like a consultation.
Yeah.
And she's in France. I have a lot of a lot of my graphic designer audience, they're all in the UK. Like 5 of my students this year have been from the Netherlands. And I just be like, how do y'all find me? I haven't been to these places. But a lot of them are out the country. And one thing about her, with her being in France, I was telling her, I'm like, you live in France, like, it's coffee shops everywhere out. It's cute places. And I told my other design student this. She lived in London. I'm like, I've been to London before. The aesthetics out there is nothing like America. Yeah. Like our coffee shops are like, they're cute, but they're not.
They're trying.
They're trying.
We gotta give them the effort.
They're trying, but they're not like in London. It's like, wow, like this is a cute work environment. So I told both of them, I was like, try a day in the life. Like let people see what you do. When they did it, one girl ended up going viral, and the other girl, she ended up coming to me. She was like, wow, I didn't know I could share like personal things, my business page. And I'm like, why not? We're our own boss.
I think what it is I think it's a small little difference we have to make. Find a way to tie it in with your business. That's it. Find a way. You can find a way. Now, if it has nothing to do with your business,
that's completely different.
Yeah, maybe once in a while. But if you can find a way to tie it in with your business,
that's the best thing to
be up on your story.
Yeah, no, seriously.
It needs to be up on your story.
Because people are nosy. And I tell people that with Instagram, it kind of substituted TV in a way. I don't watch TV at all, but I watch YouTube shorts. I could watch a vlog on YouTube. So Instagram's in a way where it's like television. You have to entertain people. So
people don't care about you. They care about what you have going on.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't care about you. They care about what you have going on and what you have going on in your life.
Yeah.
Everyone on the internet always thinks the other person's life is so much better than theirs. And
That's so true. And people are transparent too. That's another thing. Like, I'm not afraid to post my downfalls on my page.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do here and there. When I first started, I used to always post my downfalls. I'm going to start doing it more. But I do want people to know that it's okay to be transparent. You don't have to be perfect all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. So.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, man. But so what's your plans this year now?
Oh, yes. Okay, you did say that.
What are we doing this year? Like this year, it's been huge. It's 2024.
It's 2024.
I feel like for a lot of people, platforms are going crazy. You can go crazy on any platform. What's the move this year? What's the plan?
Okay, so this year I'm actually focused on pretty much, I said travel already.
Yeah.
But also my events. So I have Marketing Mimosas.
Yes.
My
Huge success last year.
Yes, last year. Okay, so the storyline behind that. So when I first came to Atlanta, I did a marketing tour. I went to Atlanta. I didn't move here yet, but I was just visiting.
Yeah.
So I did a class in Atlanta, a class in Maryland, Philly, just those 3 areas. So it was a marketing tour and I pretty much brought my clients together. It was like under 20 people and I was just teaching them the importance of branding.
Gotcha.
So once I did that class, I had a lot of people messaging me saying, wow, I love this in-person interaction. Like, when's your next workshop? And around that time, that was when they were doing like those girl boss brunches and stuff. But
I remember.
That was like that entire empowerment thing. But what set me apart was that you're actually learning stuff here. This isn't...
The other ones were vibes.
Yeah, it was just vibes. But I'm actually bringing y'all into this room so I can teach y'all about y'all branding and marketing. Yeah, so that was the difference. So the first time I did in Atlanta, it was no food. It was just like you come in a room, you're learning. I had custom binders, cute boxes. People love stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then the following year, that same year actually, I moved to Atlanta November 2021. So it's about to be 3 years since I've been here. Yeah. But November 2021, I was like, I want to do a marketing brunch. People love brunch in Atlanta. And at that time, I was living across the street from Lily's, Copper Cove. So I'm seeing like all the brunch action on Far Road.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, let me do something in my apartment. So I rented out the apartment room. I had 40 people. So that was my first marketing mimosa brunch. And the next one, it was like 2 months after because a lot of people were like, I want to go. I'm like, well, let me just do another one for fun. So the second one, I had like around 50 people. So it wasn't that big of a difference, but I still had people in the room wearing orange and yellow. So when people saw those colors, they're like, wow, this girl, and mind you, at the time I was 22. So they're
branding.
Yeah, they're like, this girl's 22. She's a Black female. She just moved to Atlanta. She's not even from here and she hosting stuff already.
Taking over.
So I was taking over. Simple. So then at the age of 23 last year, it went from 40 to 50 to 150 people that bought tickets. So that was a major jump. Yeah. But one thing I can definitely say is that people trust me and they knew that with my first 3 events I had here, it was valuable information. So for the last year brunch, I had girls coming from all over.
Literally,
it was
people flew in.
From Arkansas, Nebraska. I'm just Maryland, all over. God. And I made an experience. I did the rooftop link up. Yeah. I did the content day.
Yeah, it was a 3-day event.
It was.
4 days.
It was 3 days.
3-day event.
It was 3 days. And I connected with more photographers. So that's where I met Lloyd as well. Lloyd Lens. Yeah. I met a lot of photographers, videographers, because they were supporting me too. So now I have an event where it's not just business owners, but I'm bringing creatives together. I had like 10 graphic designers in that room. I had photographers. Tatiana was there. She's another photographer. And the fact that I was able to bring photographers, videographers, creatives, my clients in all one room, and we were all...
And notice, y'all, she said it's marketing mimosa, meaning anyone who wants to know anything about marketing.
Yeah, so
I wasn't just like a graphic
beauty
designers.
client. Only. Exactly. And
so good.
It was no space. I was also doing co-working events last year too with other graphic designers because I'm like, there's no space. It is, but there's no intimate spaces for Black creatives to come together and mesh with other entrepreneurs. Yeah. So I'm like, why not create that? So needless to say, to answer your question, Marketing Mimosas will be my focus and my main event. I already started planning it.
Let's go.
So it's August 10th, 11th, and 12th. It's going to be a 3-day weekend. I can't give y'all all the details, but
it's going to be fire, y'all.
It's going to be fire.
She had me at all the 3-day events last year and top tier.
Yes.
That's all I gotta say. If you're a photographer or anything, tap in.
Yes, because even after that event, the fact that you had a headshot station, and when I know if I thought of that or you thought of that. I can't remember. Okay, well, yeah.
So,
the white background, that was the main thing. I was like, you got to have a white background because these girls, after that, I was like seeing them using your picture that you took at the event on their flyers. I'm like, wow, like they finally have a nice headshot. And then the fact that Jenny booked you too, it was just a lot of like.
So that's my favorite play for photographers. If y'all want to try this. What I do is I find events that are happening in my city that I know where my clientele is. And I hit up the event venue people and I say, hey, I want to provide free photography for your whole entire event. All I want in exchange is let me get a headshot station.
That's it.
Just let me get a headshot station.
Because at the end of the day,
and boom,
they're going to start coming to you. And
that's exactly what happened.
I'm excited for this year because my clients know that you're my photographer. So when they see you, and I have clients that say, I just want, when I'm doing a call, they're like, I just want you and Adonis to do everything. And I'm like, okay, where are you flying from? And now the girls are just like, I'm coming from Texas. One girl said she's coming from Detroit. I'm like, wow, the fact that y'all see the both of us working and we have a healthy business relationship and y'all see the results. We're showing behind the scenes. We're showing the mood board. And this is what we talked about. See, we got to just push it. And we're educating them.
We got so much more coming for that.
We do. We do.
Just watch our platforms. I ain't going to open a can of worms right there. But just know more is coming.
Exactly.
That's exciting. So you were focusing on marketing Mimosa this year.
Yes. And then also traveling too. So I do plan on going out the country for a month. I want to go to Asia. I'm going to Asia twice this year. I'm going to Thailand first. I'm actually going in a few weeks.
Let's go.
And after marketing mimosas, I do want to go back to Bali. I'm considering Bali, probably somewhere else, but I realized that with me being in other countries, it just fuels me to go harder to bring those ideas back to America. So when I was out the country in September, I went to this one restaurant and I took a picture of their menu and all my clients were like, wow, like this menu looks nice. Like their stuff is simplistic. And I'm like, yeah, y'all could do this with y'all brand. I just have to,
That's the point of me taking pictures.
But they have to see it.
You have to see it to believe it sometimes.
They have to see it. And that's why I love being in different environments. And I'm just grateful to have a remote job because I feel like we just don't, a lot of people aren't exposed to certain things. And I feel like it's my duty to show them now.
Show them the possibilities. Like,
exactly.
I love it. So I'm super excited because one of the biggest things I think a lot of us entrepreneurs struggle with is finding a way to make our business more remote. We all can do it. We have the internet. We all can do it. You've not only figured out how to make it remote, but you've also figured out how to make it passive too.
Yes.
You got the ebooks. You got online academy. How are you doing your online academy?
So the online academy is actually live. However, I feel like it still goes under the passive in a way because my ebooks are like funneled through the academy.
That's genius.
So I just set it up that way. But I prefer, so I could go the route where my academy isn't live. It's like a self-paced, but the only reason why I don't do that is because I love interaction with other people. And I feel like that with me doing live courses, it sets me apart. A lot of designers I know, they all have the self-paced ones, but I love meeting people and I'm big on expanding my network. Like I would have never known that all those students are from the Netherlands if it wasn't live, you know? So I feel like even my last design academy, I had 25 people. I always stop it at 25 to keep it intimate. But out of those 25, it was like 5 of them that were moms. I had a few that were teachers. I had one that was, she was actually, I forgot what the title was, but she was a nurse though. So just hearing all of them and their stories and how they still invested into my course despite their busy schedule. And they told me like, some of them invested in my course because they said the way I design just looks fun. So they're doing it as a hobby. Then I had some that actually want to do graphics on the side because they want to start their own business on the side. But it kind of varies. But I can definitely say that course has definitely took me a long way. I didn't start until last year. January was my first design academy course and I taught over 150 students now. So in a matter of 1 year.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you this the same way I was on you about ebooks. I'm gonna tell you this. This is what you need to do.
I'm listening.
And I'm gonna hold you to this. This video is on YouTube. It's on all my podcast platforms, my Thrive Social platforms. This is what you need to do. You need to offer one that's self-paced. The reason I say that is because there are some people who want to just go back and watch it. They just want to go watch. So let's say you build a whole course, even however long it takes you to film it and produce it. There are some people where, let's say on section 2, you cover the topic of how to do this in Photoshop. Some people are going to reference that. I have photography courses I purchased like 3 years ago.
Yeah, that you still use.
I still go back and just watch that one video.
Okay, so I can say they're all recorded.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
I do record all of my my Zoom replays. Okay. So they have access to it. So I do have some students that I would say, they'll say, hey, I just watched the entire replay over. And I do it in sections too. So like week 1 is introduction to Photoshop. I love that. Week 2 is like flyers. Week 3 is designers hub. So I cover business related things. So if I have a student to say, hey, can you help me with X, Y, and Z? I'll say, hey, like, of course I can. And also watch week 2 recording. So a lot of them do go back to it. That's good. I would say I'm going to take that advice. Yeah. I'm going to do self-paced courses on little things that I don't cover in the Design Academy just to keep it separate. So like, let's say if somebody wants to learn how to create a GIF in Photoshop. That's not something I cover in Design Academy, but I could cover that though with a self-paced.
Super small.
Yeah, small things.
I'm one of those people where I'm super self-paced simply because I have so much going on my day-to-day life.
So that's a lot.
It's hard for me to set apart a 3-hour section to watch something. And then when I watch the replay, it doesn't hit the same because now I'm like, oh, dang, look at all them laughing and I'm over here.
But I feel like it's different learning styles too. Exactly. I can definitely say that because if some people want a self-paced course, so for instance, if you're like a nurse or something and you want to sign up for my course, but realistically you can't put aside 3 Wednesdays for 2 hours each Wednesday, I'm going to say, hey, go to my friend and take her self-paced course. One thing that I pride myself on, I'm big on referrals. Every student's not for me. Every client's not for me.
Every time.
I literally have a lot of graphic design sisters, and the way that we just be sharing clients, it's like go to her, go to Deja, go to Kirsten.
Like that? Oh, you want your branding photos to look like that?
Go to this person.
Yeah, I do branding. I do branding photography, but that
I can't do.
And sometimes we can. It's just this is not what we don't want to do.
And that's one thing that I pride myself on because I realize that I'm good financially. I have a tax preparer. I've been good with saving. I just set up my Roth IRA not too long ago. So I have all these things in place and the money's coming in. So I don't need the money that bad.
Facts,
So I realized like once I stopped being like money hungry and I prioritize my sanity, I realized that I don't have to take every client.
Sanity. Let's talk. Sanity. Let's talk about it as creative sanity. Like, y'all, I this past year, I've intentionally downsized my life so much.
Yeah.
Just so I don't have to take in so many clients. Like, I want to put way more of my savings, and I don't feel like taking so many clients. I said, I'm going to downsize my life.
Yeah.
And literally, it's been the best decision ever.
And I'm so happy you did that because even with me, me transitioning from my high-rise apartment into a house, that was me downsizing, but also not downsizing. It was kind of like 50-50.
Yeah.
Now I'm paying, not rent, but I'm paying my mortgage, which is an investment for me.
Literally.
And I'm kind of downsizing away because I'm not in Buckhead no more. And I was kind of used to that lifestyle.
Literally.
But it's okay though. And I had to remind myself at the end of the day, like, this is going to be good for me longevity wise. In the long run. Yeah. And it helped me with my sanity as well, because when I was in Buckhead, I can definitely say I was always spending money.
It's just what it is I remember I lived in Buckhead too when I first moved here.
Yeah.
I lived in a nice high rise. I actually lived on Paces,
East Paces Ferry.
Yeah.
You was right there by me then.
I lived at the residence of Buckhead.
Oh, you was around the corner from me. See, all those places are over there.
And it's just like, you work so hard. And you're spending money. Why not?
Why not? So that's the mindset I had. And I had to my sister got on me. She was just like, Jaylin, you gotta just be mindful of how much you're spending. And I'm talking about nails, hair, rent, coffee every morning.
It's like, why not?
Coffee in the afternoon.
I work hard for this.
Yeah. I would randomly go to Buckhead Village and just shop. I would go to the candle store. I would spend like $300 on candles on a random Wednesday.
Like, why not?
I would go to the spa. It was just like, I was just doing stuff. And that was cool and all because I'm happy I did experience that. Like, I was 21.
Get out your system.
Yeah. From the age of 21 through 22, I can definitely say that's only 1 year, but I could say that. That was my splurging year. And once I turned 23, I realized that okay, I'm ready to start taking my finances even more serious.
Yeah.
And my parents, they got on me. They were like, okay, calculate how much rent you spent, how much money you put into this apartment. So we doing the numbers, and then I multiply it by 12. I'm like, wow, I could have a house like not paid off, of course, but all this money could be in a house. So that's when I decided to start my house journey, because I was like, you know what? Even if I don't plan on staying in Atlanta, I'm going to be here for a good 10 years. I definitely want to make sure that I'm pouring and I'm putting my money into something, an asset.
Literally, even if let's say within the next 5 years that house is paid off, you can decide to keep it. You can decide sell it,
any of that,
and then buy land somewhere else.
Exactly.
Georgia is a great place to buy land.
Exactly.
Come on. I'm excited. That's super dope.
Thank you.
Yo, I want to thank you so much for coming on this podcast.
Of course.
Yo, for my first episode, I had to bring you on.
I was excited. I was a little nervous, but I was like, I got to do this. Because at the end of the day, it's so much stuff that you and I can talk about.
Literally.
The stuff that we be going through, it's like, we don't go through, I feel like because we're experienced and we're seasoned entrepreneurs, we don't go through as much as we did like when we first started. But we still be having our clients. So it's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, that's gonna be, I think that should be another episode. Y'all let us know if y'all want another episode with Jaylin. I will gladly make this happen for y'all. Let me know, because I think that's gonna be interesting. But this one, I wanted them to meet you and introduce yourself.
Of course.
And I'm super excited. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So far you have Marketing Mimosa coming up in August. Anything else? Any other dates you want us to know about?
So Design Academy enrollment will open again in March. Good, my last class was this past Wednesday. February, I'm taking a break because February is like Valentine's Day season.
Yes.
So I'm like,
clients coming in.
It's so many.
All need flyers.
They all need flyers. I had to turn down so many website orders this week alone because the demand for certain holidays is just there. So February, I'm taking a break from teaching. I'm using this to focus on my clients. March, I'm going to be teaching again. The summer, I'm going to be pretty much focused on just my clients because I want all our clients to have like summer campaigns. It's the summertime, so I want this summer to be like
summer campaigns.
I want them to do something fun. I want to see beach balls, flowers. I just want to see some creative marketing. August would be Marketing Mimosas, and after that, we'll see.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you in the next episode.
All right, bye, y'all.
Thank y'all.